This intro video belongs to the years 13 to 19 of my lifetime soundtrack and introduces the instrumental piece Abaddon's Bolero by Emerson, Lake and Palmer, first released on their album Trilogy. The band Emerson, Lake and Palmer, abbreviated ELP, was founded in 1970 by keyboarder Keith Emerson, vocalist and bassist Greg Lake, and drummer Carl Palmer. However, calling Keith Emerson simply a keyboarder doesn't do him justice. A virtuoso of the Moog synthesizer, that would be more adequate. Rock bands began to experiment with synthesizers as early as in the 1960s, especially with the first commercially available synthesizer constructed by Robert Moog. The Beatles did, and George Harrison released a solo album titled Electronic Sound in the year 1969. But Keith Emerson was the first to quench anything out of the Moog that was in it. He did so first with his band The Nice, then with Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and thus helped the new style of progressive rock or short prog rock get off the ground. For my playlist, I chose an instrumental piece that is found on the third album of the band and is titled Abaddon's Bolero. Obviously, the idea originates from the orchestral piece Bolero by the French composer Maurice Ravel. The core element of Ravel's Bolero is the rhythm of the snare drum, which is kept throughout the piece and sounds like that. On top of this rhythm, two melodies are repeated a total of 18 times to form a continuous crescendo of the orchestra from start to finish. As I told, Keith Emerson adapted the idea of Maurice Ravel. However, he created a completely independent piece of music. He simplified the rhythm a bit. In the ELP version, it sounds like that. Here, one and the same melody is repeated 8 times, whereby the first section is 6 bars shorter than the rest. A continuous crescendo also takes place in this version. But of course, the orchestral instruments are imitated by the Moog synthesizer: piccolo, harpsichord, strings, tuba, trumpet, the only exceptions being Greg Lake's bass and Carl Palmer's drums. In my opinion, Keith Emerson gets to the heart of the idea even in a more convincing way than Maurice Ravel himself.